Another very interesting conversation I was having was with an MBA graduate student, someone who's learned business at the highest degree. I
Hmm.
asked him, so what do you think about entrepreneurship? What do you think about starting a company? He was very frank with me. He said that I have no such plans as of now. Maybe once I have quote unquote work experience, once I am 30, 40 years old, I can think about starting something of my own. Do you have any comment on that sort of mentality? What do you believe is the right age to enter entrepreneurship and the
Hmm.
importance of having experience working under a corporate?
Hmm. So I've spoken with many people and I've met people from all sorts of different backgrounds. I have friends at Skydeck, the incubator at Berkeley, the startup incubator at Berkeley, who were like 40, almost about to turn 50. And they had spent like 20 years working at a genetics company, a DNA company. And then they created a patent. And then they were like, oh, this patent is actually very useful. Let me try to create my own startup out of it. So that's how they started their journey. Some people I've met have started a lot older. Some people are my age, also starting very, very young. I've also met people younger than me. The co-founder of Sahil was 16 when I met him at Berkeley. So I've met people from all sorts of different things. And at least from what I've come to learn from all of that has been like the question of what's the right age is like very dependent on what you want. I think that's what I've come to learn. And rather than asking what's the right age for starting like a company or a startup or a business or a project, it's more a question of like what are the opportunities and what are the costs of pursuing this opportunity, the opportunity cost. So some people don't like the idea of starting projects in college or even younger than that because the problem is not so much if you fail. If you fail at a young age, that's like actually terrific. You're learning so much more than most people because you're taking a risk. But if you become successful, the example that the Paul Graham from Y Combinator would say is imagine you're Mark Zuckerberg and you become successful at the age of what, 22. Then suddenly all the serendipity, all the things that you could do as a 20-year-old in your 20s, travel without like caring too much about anything, just starting projects with friends or just going to people's houses or going to a restaurant, right? It's not even like a big thing. Mark Zuckerberg can go to a restaurant. He has to have his police escort. Every time he goes, like people want to take selfies with him, they want to take pictures. Like the problem isn't so much at the early age, like the failure, but it's like, well, what are you trading exactly? And the same question applies with when you're older. It's well, what are you trading by starting a lot older? Maybe you have a lot less energy. Sure, you might have a lot more experience, but one of the important things with any things that you want to start is you have to have the energy and that energy to be very high for a very long time. And maybe if you're like already 40 or 50, then it's really hard to maintain like super energetic levels for like 10 years. You know, it's like going from 50 to 60. Oh my God. You have to continue that motivation and that inspiration for the people around you. So it's more of a question of what are you trading, I would say.